welcome to Pitch BrandTalk. I'm Simran Sabarwal. It's New Year, and New Year generally reflects new beginning. And Max Life Insurance definitely is seeing a new beginning as the company is now rebranded at Axis Max Life Insurance. This is to focus on expanding beyond metros and Tier 1 cities and to draw long-term growth. I'm very happy to have with me today Rahul Talwar. He's the Chief Marketing Officer at Axis Max Life Insurance. Rahul, welcome.
Well, thank you, Simran. Wishing you a very happy new year, and to all the viewers who would be watching this content. Like you said, yes, new beginnings. But the interesting thing with new beginnings is that it's built on continuity. So we'll try and touch upon that as we go along in the conversation.
Sure. Like we said, you've refreshed and you have a new brand identity, Access Max Life Insurance, and this brings together two trusted names in the financial sectors in India. So, what does the rebrand entail, and how do you see this resonating with your consumers?
Again, thanks for having me here. And yes, we are on a very interesting journey, I would say, of Max Life Insurance undergoing a brand refresh. And we, as we call ourselves from now onwards, Axis Max Life Insurance. Simran, interestingly, if you look at the larger BFSI space, and if you were to zoom in a bit closer towards the life insurance space, we have seen that the category over, say, the last 24, 25 years in the private space as it's opened up, we have seen few brands undertaking brand refresh exercises for, again, reasons which are anchored in either business or growth. Max Life Insurance over these last 24 years was a rock solid brand. I use the word was because I'm talking in the present with Axis Max Life Insurance. Otherwise, if you were to look at it, it's a continuity on what we're doing at Axis Max Life Insurance. Interestingly, as a brand and as a business, if you were to ask us how do we define ourselves, we define ourselves as a business or a brand that's got growth aspirations and we are challengers in that sense. To where Max Life Insurance stood in terms of having a rock solid brand, again anchored in this entire value of customer obsession, where we used to always speak about our pride asset or emotion called Bharosa, the Bharosa that our customers or prospects were to have in us in the entire journey of being with us. If you were to look back maybe about 3 to 4 years, say if you were to dial back to April 2021, when Axis Bank, which was always a relationship from a distributor standpoint, got culminated into Axis Bank becoming our co-promoter. And from there, we started looking at our entire growth agenda to be able to see that, okay, how can we leverage the power of our two shareholders? That's Max Financial and Axis Bank. And in this category, which has a very nice infusion of the flavor of B2B and D2C because of the way the entire D2C agenda is moving. We said that the brand can very well undertake a refresh exercise where we bring in the power of the two powerhouses, Max Life Insurance as it was built, and add back some infusion energy from our shareholder Axis Bank. And that's what triggered this entire piece. Obviously, for the kind of stature that Max Life Insurance has had in the category and continues to have in terms of customer bharosa, we put behind a fairly robust exercise backed by science, logic, and a lot of research to be able to see how the brand refresh exercise can build on continuity and additionally infuse that much more energy in our already strong foundation. And that's where this entire energy behind the brand was triggered. We were also fairly particular about when and how to undertake this refresh exercise in terms of its launch. And we know that as life insurance at a category level and equally for our business, half two is an important half in the entire financial year. That's between October to March. We also, between the months of November and December, typically as a business, we celebrate our own foundation day, which is where we again bring in the pride of the entire enterprise. And we were able to ensure that the entire brand refresh exercise was able to come together for the entire enterprise and all of our stakeholders, say in the month of December. And as we speak, currently we are in the first 4 to 5 weeks of this refresh exercise. and fingers crossed, looking good on many parameters.
I'm just going to pick up three words which you mentioned. One was Bharosa, one was
Yeah,
customer obsession,
yeah,
and one was research. Right.
yeah.
So, any insights that you garnered, which you then used in your strategy while refreshing the brand?
So I'll go reverse. You spoke about Bharosa, customer obsession, and research. I'll try and maybe start from research and try and land it as to how, for our customers and larger stakeholders, we looked at extending our strength of Bharosa. Well, yes, Simran, we went out and we put out a fairly robust qualitative and quantitative pieces of research, and we brought in again. Partners of credibility. We had the entire Kantar Insights research ecosystem, which was working with us in this journey. And we also had a boutique partner based out of Bangalore by the name Chapter 5, which again worked with us in this entire piece from the qualitative sense. Interestingly, when we put the entire qualitative and quantitative pieces together, research could be pinned down to three larger thematics. One, this entire emotion qualitatively about Ek Se Bhale Do. The fact that there's a powerhouse subject matter expertise brand in life insurance space called Max Life Insurance. And you equally have another financially strong brand in the larger financial space, which operates like a group with multiple product lines and again, consumer offerings in the entire Axis Bank universe. So qualitatively, our extensive stakeholders collectively picked up the emotion of Ek Se Bhale Do. When we extended the qualitative pieces of research to quantitative, additionally two more pieces came up that with the Axis infusion into the brand Max Life Insurance, and I'm very conscious of the word Simran saying Axis infusion in Max Life Insurance because the idea was to be able to double up the entire strength of Max Life Insurance and also pick up strengths of Axis Bank as a brand. And what we picked up, the second point on research, in addition to Ek Se Bhale Do, was that while in urban markets, metros and tier ones, Max Life Insurance as a franchise, as a brand, was holding great strength. But if you were to look at the entire brand strength coming out of, say, tier twos and tier threes, the entire infusion of Axis Bank identity in Max Life Insurance would have given us a boost. So that's the second point. And the third one was that if you were to look at the larger franchise of existing Max Life Insurance and also the way Axis Bank has built its entire brand franchise, the entire piece of customer centricity, or as we call customer obsession, was something that was unifying both the franchises together. So again, when research eventually went out and tested solutions, we were very clear about ensuring that we continue with the strength of Max Life Insurance. We also realized, Simran, in this journey that the entire inciting that comes from D2C, the direct to consumer business, where consumers are coming into the brand directly through their own search engines, we said that the continuity of keeping Max Life together in the end solution is going to be of great strength. And which is why, if you look at the end solution where we are, we call ourselves Axis Max Life Insurance. And yes, we have undertaken a new identity to the logo as well. Coming back to your last point around Bharosa. Interestingly, if you were to look at Max Life Insurance from a category standpoint, if you were to see the life insurance space, the big moment of truth comes at the point of claims. And if you were to go back and look at Max Life Insurance around a business vector called claims paid ratio, for the last 5 to 7 years, we have consistently not only grown our claims paid ratio number, but we've also been able to take a fair bit of a pole position. And as a brand, to be able to ensure that we celebrate this trust that customers place in us, we said that the brand is going to start embracing this emotion under a proprietary platform called Bharosa. And our specific claims paid ratio, which today stands at 99.65, we call that platform as India ke Bharose ka number. So when we look at the moment of truth, when we look at what we have built for the past 5 to 7 years, we said that in the entire refresh exercise, and like I've been repeating in this conversation, that the refresh is about continuity and building strength on that continuity. We said Bharosa is a good starting point to have. And which is why, as we went out refreshing the logo identity, refreshing the entire communication platform. Again, we thought of picking up our existing assets, and that's where Bharosa, in fact, got doubled up. And the entire brand refresh exercise of Max Life Insurance is now Axis Max Life Insurance is anchored in this platform called Double Bharosa.
You mentioned that you're leveraging Axis, the brand value of Axis Bank. So currently, how much of your business is coming from the smaller towns, your tier two, tier three, vis-a-vis the metro and tier one? And where are you looking this
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
in say, looking ahead, where do you want this to be?
So again, not losing ourselves in numbers. If you were to look at the larger narrative that the category, again, from the regulator to most of the key opinion leaders in the category, including our leadership at Axis Max Life Insurance, is talking about, the North Star is insurance for all by 2047. In fact, at Axis Max Life Insurance, we also run a proprietary platform which is called the India Protection Quotient, which measures the entire financial security that our customers feel at a larger level. And it's a thought leadership program that we have. Our intention is to be able to ensure that we play to the same North Star. And at Axis Max Life Insurance, our intention is that we continue to build on our strengths of urban and tier one, and we are also able to leverage this entire aspiration of insurance for all by 2047 by looking at these markets of tier two and tier three. Axis Bank, since inception as our distributor back in 2010 to becoming a co-promoter in April 2021, and where we are today, is again a very important part of our entire business mix. Whatever we do on our business side is in public domain, so those can be referred to as numbers. But the larger North Star of Axis Max Life Insurance, trying to be the most admired life insurance business in India, and to be able to play to the larger North Star of insurance for all by 2047 is the larger growth aspiration that we have. And Simran, again, this category and our business is today able to embrace the role of brand that much more because of what you see is happening to the larger D2C space.
We spoke about Bharosa, and you've actually doubled down on Bharosa. I've launched a new integrated marketing campaign called Double Bharosa. So, what can you tell us about it? What's the communication looking like?
So again, like all brand refresh exercise, in fact, if you were to not even call a brand refresh exercise, most of the brand campaigns today, thanks to the way the entire media space and consumer or customer attention is moving towards, it needs to be fairly integrated. So one, the entire brand refresh exercise is an integrated piece of campaign that we have undertaken, and again, I'm calling this as a campaign that would not be time bound to say 4 weeks or 6 weeks, because brand refresh exercise needs to necessarily be able to take a larger play of say a 6 to 12 month period, because that's the amount of time that a new brand definitely would take to be able to ensure that we make ourselves felt in the life of our customers or consumers. Uh, Double Bharosa, the genesis of Double Bharosa again is the continuity of Bharosa, what I spoke about earlier, that how Max Life Insurance has been able to underpin the strength of customer trust and the moment of truth around our dominance of the claims performance that we have. And interestingly, when we looked at our entire creative space and we looked at the infusion of Axis into Max Life Insurance, we had two or three layers basis which we arrived at Double Bharosa. One, two powerhouse brands are coming together. So we need to celebrate this for our customers and future customers and all of our stakeholders. So that's a double celebration of two powerhouses brand. Second, colloquially, if you were to look at it, Double has a huge play in our day-to-day lives. And again, because brands are best understood when we play to existing customer or consumer conversations, we said that we have to ensure that the brand refresh exercise is anchoring in something that's colloquial and, more importantly, universal. Last but not the least, if you were to look at it, the entire life insurance space, Axis Max Life Insurance included, we have our entire products and services delivering the double promise to our customers. So when we put all of these pieces together is where the genesis of the campaign happened to be that, yes, as Max Life Insurance is now Axis Max Life Insurance, Bharosa is also now doubled. And that's where we came up with this entire campaign of hashtag double Bharosa, which again cuts across multiple screens, multiple media touch points, and we build on this journey.
So where is the money going in terms of your media mix? And because this is a refresh brand campaign, how much of your overall marketing budget are you putting into this rebranding effort in terms of your media mix?
So again, like I said earlier, our media investments, our media models are all anchored in where we are able to catch the attention of our viewers. So again, we look at this in a bifocal way. We look at our existing customers and we also look at our future customers. And we fair bit of understanding that we have from the entire marketing ecosystem along with research and media partners. We have seen that post the entire pandemic inflection point, where we have seen that there's been the ever extending and acceleration of consumption of multiple screens, small, medium, big, and we need to be able to catch the attention to be able to engage our audience. We are obviously having a very interesting mix of traditional and digital. What we have also done, interestingly, for our entire brand refresh exercise as we have undertaken is that we have given it a bit of a boost even below the line, because we've got our assets in terms of our own branches. We have also seen assets in terms of the branches of our bank partners, which includes Axis Bank, Yes Bank, and the other banks that we have. So to be able to ensure that we look at digital media, we look at mass media, and we look at below the line, it all comes together. In terms of, again, broad splits, we just play to what the objective is. Currently, the objective is to be able to create awareness for the brand and to be able to convert that awareness into consideration and eventually preference. So most of our media monies are deployed to these objectives. One of the vectors, which again, thanks to the advent of the performance-ness of marketing dollars being spent, is also being able to look at that what kind of search volume are we able to drive from our D2C business.
So performance marketing is where you're focused on primarily.
No, I would not say primarily. Performance marketing would always be important for our entire D2C play and for the kind of dominance
Okay.
that Axis Max Life Insurance has in the D2C space in terms of our market leadership. But because you're playing to the top of the funnel, you're playing to the mid funnel and to the bottom funnel, you would have a very interesting play of traditional marketing, which is offline, and online marketing.
Now in 2022, you signed on Rohit Sharma and Ritika Sajdeh as your brand ambassadors. How is this association worked out? And because now you have a family, it looks like a family thing, right? So how is this association worked out?
So again, at a top line level, the association has been brilliant and fairly integrated. 3-4 reasons for that. One, life insurance as a category or a product is best understood when spoken about from the frame of the family. In the past, at a category level, the conversations were either muted, neutral, or carried a shade of a fear factor. At Max Life Insurance then, or today as Axis Max Life Insurance, we were very clear about that we never wanted to burden the breadwinner. And I'm conscious of calling the protagonist as breadwinner and not as the male, because we wanted to be a progressive brand which is able to appreciate the role of a women participant in financial planning, and which is why our intention was to be able to always talk to a young family, a family which believes in mindful living. When we say mindful living, we believe in proactive financial planning, proactive health planning, and proactiveness in terms of anything that is for the betterment of the family. So when back in 2022, when we looked at the brand and we looked at, okay, how do we best resonate with our target audience? We said that we need to look at a relationship which carries the creds of being self-made. It's inspirational and aspirational, and also has huge creds of the equitableness between the male quotient of the relationship and the female quotient of the relationship. And which is why we went out, and brands traditionally may have just looked at a brand ambassador relationship in a unisex way. But we said, no, we will go back and talk to the family via the family. And which is why we said that Rohit Sharma and Ritika both are going to be in the relationship that we have. And since then, like you rightly used the word family man, we've been able to build this entire conversation keeping the familyness. And if you were to look at our communication template, it's fairly light and lively and positive versus the fear factor that a life insurance conversation may have of, say, an eventuality that may come in. Even when Rohit and Ritika in the communication parlance talk about life insurance, they try and talk to the mindfulness of the product, and they try and appeal to young families and millennials in that sense.
As looking back at your campaigns, you kind of played on the Sharma ji angle, which we have in India for your Sharma ji ka beta angle, and even then you leveraged technology for when with AI, where you had an AI powered personalization across the board for particularly for your renewal messaging. So, how what can we expect looking ahead in because you've used technology specifically on the use of technology for our marketing?
So I think the use of technology comes in from the fact that there's a larger thematic of engagement. I think one of those days where one of those days where marketing could have had a one-way street or a one-way conversation and assumed that the audience is going to pick up what they have to pick up. So when you look at the larger space of martech, when you look at what technology can do, is all about driving engagement. So I think that's the larger thematic. I think on Sharma Ji Ka Beta, it's all about trying to make Axis Max Life Insurance now or earlier Max Life Insurance cool and relatable to the Gen Z, to the millennials. And again, play to the colloquialness of Sharma Ji Ka Beta in the larger social space. We also realized that Rohit Sharma and Ritika, A as a couple, and more importantly, Rohit Sharma as the individual, carries this entire aura and flavor of trying to be casual and cool and calm, and we knew that we could place life insurance conversation in that environment. On the renewal campaign or the AI bit, I think that's an ongoing exercise at Axis Max Life Insurance that we try and do. For a product which may not have large degree of engagement, because in life insurance you typically don't engage on a day-to-day basis as a customer.
True.
So to be able to drive engagement at the point of renewal, and to be able to ensure that an individual is able to reevaluate, is able to take notice of the fact that life insurance is not bought once and forgotten. You can keep bettering it. You can keep increasing your sum assured and your cover for yourself and your loved ones, and to again drive engagement under the theme of personalization. So if Rohit was to go back and say, "Dear customer," assume the customer to be Simran, "please pay your premium." Simran may take notice of it or may not. But if Rohit, via technology and AI, is able to say, "Dear Simran, for yourself and your loved ones, you've taken a policy and your premium is due on such and such date," I'm sure Simran as an individual is going to react far more in terms of taking a call to action. And we have
Sure.
seen better engagement rates, we have seen better performance of those creatives. So the idea is to be able to again play to technology for engagement and more importantly to personalization.
Now, you also mentioned Gen Z and millennials, right? So, how are you targeting this group vis-a-vis the older generation?
A part of it comes from the entire piece of the media mix that we work with.
Hmm.
That's one part of it. Second is the way we put out our content. If you were to see the kind of content that we put out across various media touchpoints, it's adapted for the audience that we are talking to. Very soon, you're going to be seeing a specific communication package being put out for our Gen Zs, which is again under the umbrella of brand refresh, where we are trying to go back and tap into the why of Gen Z from the perspective of term insurance. So I think that's something that's again coming up. And again, for these audience, Simran, like for all of us, the idea is to be able to talk in the vocabulary that they understand. If I go back and talk about fear factor to Gen Z, I doubt I'll make any penetration in his or her mind. If I go back and talk about life insurance from the perspective of either YOLO, FOMO, slaying, or whichever vocabulary, I'm sure at least I'll belong to that audience in that universe. And they may take notice of me depending on how easy I am to engage with.
Finally, looking ahead, what can we expect from Access
Uh,
Max Life Insurance?
what you can expect from Access Max Life Insurance, is high amount of visibility to ensure that our stakeholders across the funnel, across the larger ecosystem, take notice of the fact that The already powerhouse of Max Life Insurance is now doubled up with Axis Max Life Insurance. We're going to also be seeing a good amount of communication anchored in either products or in our services to be able to ensure that we don't just leave the brand at a brand level, we try and land it via product and via services, because that's how best a brand would be able to resonate. And fingers crossed to the larger growth aspirations of the enterprise.
Thank you, Rahul, for your time.
Thank you, Simran, for giving me this opportunity. And again, thank you for to the audience who's going to be watching this.